Yo, right now, if you're watching this show right now, if you bleed silver and black, if you rep that album, if you don't even know why you're a Raiders fan at this point, but you believe that this is a team that is a lot bigger than the team on the field, but it's a family, spam JWB right now, because the Raiders just won, baby. It wasn't pretty. Let's be real. Sometimes, it's not pretty, but all that matters is that you came away with a W in a big-time situation. You can beat the Packers. You better beat the freaking Chicago Bears. This is a team that right now 2-3 can be 4-3 in just 2 weeks. You just got to focus. You got to execute. You got to do the right things. But in a game that, again, you did not play good football on the offensive side, you were still able to come away with a win. Like, this defense continues to show that they are the strongest point of this team. That's a frustrating thing. Jimmy Garoppolo was bad again. 22 of 31, 208 yards, a touchdown, and interception. But anybody that watched the game knows that this offense is limited with Jimmy Garoppolo as its QB with 7 interceptions on the season. Josh Jacobs, 20 carries, 69 yards, a touchdown. Here's the problem. Your running game is never going to be able to get going as long as Jimmy G is your quarterback. Jacoby Myers, your top receiver, 7 for 75 and a touchdown. Jacoby showed opportunities. Davante Adams made plays at the end. But if you legitimately watch this game, and I mean from start to finish, there is no way possible that you can be confident in Josh McDaniels being the right man for the job. There is no way that you can be confident that Jimmy Garoppolo is the right man for the job. I mean, I'm telling you all right now, anybody who watched that game, and I bet a lot of people watch a lot of football, no way you have any confidence in McDaniels, and there's no way you have any confidence in Jimmy Garoppolo. But you know what happened? The defense stepped up. They rallied together, and somehow, I'm not going to complain about it, but we found a way to win. Now, here's the thing. We're going to get a lot of people that watch this show. If you bleed silver and black, click that subscribe button. If you want free Raiders videos every day, click that subscribe button. If you want the Raiders to still fire Josh McDaniels, click that subscribe button, man. I am a diehard Raider fan from the first time I went out to a tailgate in Oakland. And I want this, the best for Raider Nation. And if you feel the same way, click that subscribe button. All right, let's go to Jimmy Garoppolo now. He was 22 of 31, 208 yards, a touchdown, an interception. And the interception that he had, you got to think about the entire game as a perspective, right? I really wish McDaniels would have used his timeout when he had one left. They just let the clock tick all the way down at the end of the first half of the football game. You could have saved 40 seconds, but instead you put your offense out there on the field, which has not played well the entire season, by the way, and you put them in a tough situation. To me, though, there was a lot of missed opportunities on both offense and especially special teams. If Daniel Carlson's able to knock through that field goal, that's the 3 extra points. Great play by the Green Bay Packers, but also from the offensive side of the football, man. Like, you got to be able to convert in these certain situations. The trick plays that McDaniels is running. I mean, that's like 1970s type of trick plays. I need to see something that's a little bit more inspiring. But on the defensive side of the football, which is where they won this game, and I know I'm a frustrated human being because the Raiders' defense is finally playing well, but their offense is struggling. On defense, though, A.J. Dillon, 20 of 76, touchdown. I mean, he was able to run the football. Honestly, if you would have asked me how many rushing yards he would have had, I thought there would have been a lot more. And the frustrating part from the defensive side was they kept running the same play over and over and over again for Green Bay. But when it mattered the most, the Raiders got stops. I thought Max Crosby played his freaking balls off today. Robert Spillane had a freaking hell of a football game. Marcus Peters got beat a bunch of times, but made a huge tip play when it mattered the most. I thought Tyree Wilson had himself a solid game. Marcus Epps was able to battle this one out. But you know what? Amik Robertson makes the biggest play on defense when it matters the most. So I want to know right now from the nation, the Raiders MVP for Week 5, who is it? Is it on offense? Is it on defense? Who was the Raiders' Week 5 MVP? Because probably for the first time this season, And usually after a football game, I can predict who the Raiders MVP is going to be after a win. I can legitimately tell you right now, I don't know who it's going to be. Is it going to be Amik Robertson? Is it going to be Robert Spillane? Max Crosby? Maybe it's Jacoby Myers. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo, Josh Jacobs. A lot of options out there, and I don't know who it's going to be. There's also a lot of options out there when you're looking at fantasy football, but you know what? There's only one option that the nation needs to look at right now. Daily fantasy sports made easy. I didn't hit on all my picks tonight, and that's going to happen, but you know what? I was locked into the game even more than I usually am because of Prize Picks. So Prize Picks is the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. So, man, I've been playing Prize Picks for a long time. I was able to make my picks tonight, and again, not all of them worked, but hey, it is what it is. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match. If you want to know my picks for this upcoming week, again, Jeremy Chugs and I, we're going to be live for Broncos Chiefs. So anytime I have an opportunity to put my picks down on a game that I'm going to be live for and that I know for a fact I'm going to be watching, I try to do it. So Russell Wilson, I took the more because I think the Chiefs are going to win that game, and Russell Wilson's going to have to throw from behind. CJ Stroud, sorry, Chugs, took the less against the Saints defense because they're one of the best in the biz. And then Zach Wilson because he stinks. I took the less on that one too. So again, y'all, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Get started with our sponsor. I promise you, you're going to love what they have to offer. They do a lot of amazing things over there at Prize Picks. So again, the Las Vegas Raiders get the win, 17-13 against the Green Bay Packers. And Jordan Love was booty cheeks. I mean, he was bad. I don't know if it was the Raiders' defense. I don't know if it was just a bad game from Jordan Love. But man, oh man, when you're that bad, it's hard to win football games. Let's go to some audience now here from the Raiders Report watching. What's up, Rashissimo? McDummy tried his best to lose this one. I mean, there was a lot of times in this football game where I was definitely frustrated with McDaniels. And I will come away from this football game of looking at McDaniels and what he did, and I'll say, he wasn't good. And anybody that watched this game knows that McDaniels was not good in this game. The Raiders did not win this game because of Josh McDaniels. They won this game in spite of his play calling. But at the end of the day, the defense shows you yet again that they are able to accomplish a lot, and they're able to come away with a big-time dub. Like, I get it. They did not pressure the QB well. When you give up 13 points, you can't complain about the defense, right? Like, they had a lot of injuries. They played well, and yet again showed that they can play well without Nate Hobbs. What up, Craig? We have Adams, Jacoby, Hunter, tight ends, and Jacobs. It's the damn coach. Yeah, I mean, here's the problem. You just have a very bland NFL offense, and that a lot of the times can be the most frustrating thing where you can have all the talent in the world. And think about it as like you're a chef. You can have all the best ingredients in the world, but if you're not able to use them in the correct way, that recipe's going to suck, man. What up, Rebel? Defense did well tonight. Robertson stepped up. Offense needs work. Jacobs and Myers played a role tonight. Sleeping easy. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to ever sit up here and say that I'm not going to sleep well after a Raiders win. I'm going to sleep like a freaking baby tonight, and I can't wait. The Raiders won, man. That's all that matters. Nick, let's go. Raiders won, but can't keep scoring 17 points, keep winning. I mean, again, when you look at the entire offseason, you had 12 draft picks, you had all this money on free agency, and you spent all that money on the offense side of the football, and you're still unable to put up over 20. The Raiders have yet to score over 20 points. The Raiders have yet to score over 20 points. Think about that. That's an insane stat to throw out there. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Let's go to Isaiah. You're next up here on the Raiders Report. All this to lose to the Bears in 2 weeks. I'm not going to believe it. They can beat the Patriots. They can beat the Bears. We can be a 4-3 football team. We can be. Justin, much love the nation. Love all y'all. Shout out to Justin Avgin, man. Absolute legend. The dude. I'm just happy that 9 years is over. Shout out to the dude. I'm just happy that 9 years is over. Caleb, going to my first Raiders game Sunday, and I've been very stressed about it. The win is making me feel a little bit better now. Huge fan, Mitchell. Fire McDaniels. Hey, I'm glad you're a huge fan of the Raiders. I'm glad that you're a huge fan of this Raiders Report show. I'm glad that every single person that watches this stream, man, they take a lot of pride in what we do. Luke, more confident in the D than McDaniels' offense. If you could order anything off the dollar menu right now, what would you get? Also, speaking of that, I got to take a pee. Oh, we're still in the cut. Wow, Luke, what's up? Nando, looks like they actually wanted to win this time. Defense balled out. Could have gone at them Adams more. I don't know, man. I agree with the idea of getting into Adams more. There's definitely more opportunities to get him the football. But, again, your defense stepped up. But Garoppolo's got to figure it out. Like, the fact that he turned over the ball where he did, when he did in that situation, made 10-10. You flip the entire script on the other side of the football. McDaniels not calling a timeout when there's a minute 40. That tells you this. I know McDaniels will never admit that he does not have confidence in his offense right now. But if Josh McDaniels is the offensive guru that he claims to be, he would step up to camera. He would say, I don't have confidence in this offense right now. Because there's nobody that has even got a rational of a brain that has confidence in Jimmy Garoppolo or even has a little bit of confidence in this offense. But instead, Josh McDaniels tucks it between his legs. And he goes up there and he says nothing over and over and over again. Man, it's frustrating as hell. Remember, y'all, if you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. I put my takes up there all the time. And if anybody wants to ask me any question after the show, also on Cameo, at Mitchell Renz 365, which is where I'm going to be answering all these questions tonight. So, we got over 2,000 people right now. If you want to keep this party rocking and rolling with Jeremy Chugs and I, make sure you're tuning in live to